Hello everyone! Today I figured I'd be taking a look at some of the levels I've made for Mario Maker 3 years ago. It's been quite a while, but I remember being proud of what I've done with the quite limited level editor. So let's jump right into it. The campaign's called Two Twins Travel Through Time, which is kind of hard to say. It's a level that's at first made to resemble the Mario games of old, paying a tribute to some of my favorite platformers of all time. So, for example, World 1 is heavily based on the first Super Mario Bros. Game, with extremely similar special stages and such. As you can see here, very Super Mario Bros. 1. There are, of course, little power-ups hidden under there for people who don't have a mushroom. And if you're even further beyond, you can get a star. I won't be exploring everything there is to see in these levels, for starters because I don't remember everything, but also because I might fail quite a little bit as we get into harder levels down the line. But yeah, Super Mario Bros. 1 isn't a particularly challenging game. The second one was quite hard, but the first one is more of a chill platformer that's really just about going fast and finding out little secrets. So it's actually the perfect way to start a campaign like that, to be inspired by a game that's, you know, just a chill time. So yeah, that was it. That was 1-1 Happy Hills. Something that you'll notice as I go through these levels, they're all based on different alliterations. So see, here we've got Basic Beach, and it's quite surprising that Nintendo never took action against that, but I'm pretty happy that they didn't. This one is just a tutorial on water stages. People usually don't like water stages. I quite like them in some games. I think they're done quite nicely in Super Mario Bros. And in Rayman, like Rayman Origins. Really nice water levels in these games. But I can see where people are coming from. In Super Mario 64, I think the water levels were easily the worst part of that game. And one thing that I tend to notice in games where I don't like the water levels is that they're quite long. So my goal when I did water stages for these levels is to make them with a reasonable length. So see here, you just had to do the loop once, then you figure out, okay, what do I do with this P-switch? At the start of the level, I was blocked by a wall, so you're supposed to figure out, okay, I need to go through the pipe, go back out, and finish level. Of course, if you don't figure this out, you can still do the loop one more time, and then remember that there's nothing else to do in the underground. So most people, if they don't figure it out the first time around, they definitely will the second time around. So it's a pretty short stage. 1-3 Porcini Plateau is a game that's more based on the bonus content. It's not very long, but there are a couple of goodies. I guess I'll just take the mushroom. The other one was an amiibo costume, but yeah, it's not particularly difficult, but there are a couple of nice things to figure out as you go through the level. So that was one path. Oh, I took the checkpoint though, that's not good. I guess I'll be showing off this path in reverse then. One thing that Mario Maker as a whole is struggling with is verticality, because you're limited to 2 screens of height. You can't really do a large scrolling level like you could in Mega Man or even some Mario stages. But something I realized with these mushroom platforms is that even though the level isn't that vertical, just the fact that they are so thin, these platforms, it make you think you're much higher than you actually are. and that's another bonus. This one is pretty short. I didn't do as much with these bonus stages as I probably could. But it's difficult figuring out a good bonus that is not too long to make a level, like, not optimal, and are still satisfying to go through. It's not easy. So that I figure that's why most bonus stages in Mario are these single screen things that award you with a bunch of lives. So now we're up at the boss stage of World 1, which is a classic Bowser stage. Though Bowser is dead, this chronologically takes place after Super Mario Bros. 1, so it's called the Shell Sisters Shelter, and it's based around you going through one of the Bowser stages, but Bowser isn't around, so you're defeating one of his goons instead, well, two of his goons. This path is the most challenging thing you can do in World 1. I included it for hardcore players like myself. But there's definitely an easier path. Oh, I guess we'll be showing off the easier path then. Wow. Which does give you a checkpoint and some easier platforming. If you try to go for the easiest path, there's no checkpoint and you just go back to the start, so there's no reason to go there. I like to punish cowardice when I can. So yeah, let's just do the normal path this time around. It's a bit slower. A nice way to reward challenge in games like this, especially early on, is to make people who want to speedrun, people who want to play fast, take the harder route. So when they finally succeed, they can be proud of what they've accomplished. Okay, let's go. There's not much to say anymore about this stage. I pretty much covered everything already. So let's just be the Shell Sisters and be done with it. I am quite happy with how I've designed this boss fight. If you don't have the Fire Flower like I do, it's pretty tricky to kill the Shell Sisters. And you have to kill the top one before you're allowed to kill the Shell Dude. So that was World 1. It's pretty easy, but things are gonna ramp up quite quickly.